Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey,
Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, dude, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you too.
I guess
It's
I
fun
haven't,
to see anybody nowadays.
yeah, I guess I haven't seen you since well, I guess New Year's Eve since I watched you on the telly since
Oh,
they
the
released
telly.
they released episode
This
5.
is how this is gonna go.
Yeah, yeah, this is how it's gonna
I
go.
know they've been releasing them all over the place. I've had my mom will call me on Saturday night and say she's like, I've already watched the show, and then they released the one this week on Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. So when I was getting ready to watch the first episode, uh my dad, like, he came over and we were talking or whatever, and he was like, oh, look, like, it's already on. And I was like, what? It's not supposed to be on till like tonight. And he was
I
like, no,
know.
if you have like it account or an app or whatever, like, you can just stream it like the start of the day. I didn't know that. So I've been like
Oh yeah, I
watching in the
totally
morning.
wasn't prepared for that either.
Yeah,
Even
'cause when it says a time, it's just like, that's when you have to be ready. That's how my brain works. When you see a time, I'll be there at that time.
you're very punctual.
Yes, dude, I love your background. Have you read any of those, or is that just to show me how smart you are?
It's just show you how smart I am.
Okay, that makes
Totally.
sense.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could read. That's great.
I can't.
Oh, wow.
To have people read scripts to me and then memorize them, and yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when we were going over our scene in episode 2, it was a real struggle.
Yeah, thank you so much for all your help.
You're most welcome. Actually, they actually had to bring me in, and they couldn't really understand what you were saying, so I dubbed like all your lines throughout the series. I don't know if you picked up on
Oh, yeah, I thought it was coming off better than I remembered it.
that. Oh, that's great, man. Dude, thank you so much for being on my show. I've just been doing it uh, since the whole pandemic and everything in March, because I'm a big fan of podcasts. I don't know if you.
Yeah, me too.
What are some of your favorite ones?
My favorite one that I listen to every week is Keep It.
Who hosts that?
Um, their names are Louis, Ira, and Aida. And
Okay.
every week they do all movies and pop culture and TV and stuff. And at the
Yes.
very end of the episode, they have a keep it to this thing that's going on in the world right now.
I like that. I like that, man.
Yeah.
I
No,
like
I
the,
love that you're doing this. Thanks for having me on.
dude. Thank you so much for doing it. Like I was saying, I'm a big fan of, like, I like Conan O'Brien's podcast. He always has like people on talking to him about their careers and stuff. And then I'm also a big fan of this one called Lessons from the Screenplay that kind of talks about like certain movies and their scripts. And I was just like, you know what? I can do that. All I need is like a microphone and people willing to talk to me. The latter was a
Yeah.
lot harder than I thought it'd be.
No, I know, because you were always talking about interview shows that you were watching and stuff on YouTube, or and you're like a movie buff. You've seen everything, so you're
Yeah.
like the perfect person to host this.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. That shows that like you listen to me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I remember on I think on our way to set, we were in an event. It was me, you, and
Yeah, Sophia. Yeah.
yeah, sorry, Sophia. My mind just went blank, and then someone else. I can't remember. But yeah, I kept like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And then like, she had mentioned some movie, and I was like, oh, that's like made by this director. We started talking. Like, I love talking about that stuff. So this is like such a fun thing to do. But I was gonna ask you, did you have a good New Year's Eve, and how was your 2020?
Uh, well, oh God, it's such a weird question to answer because obviously it's so terrible for the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
But there was some good parts too. Like we got to wrap up our show,
Hmm.
and the show came out, and actually the day before New Year's Eve, I got engaged. So
Yeah, congratulations. I was gonna say
thank
that to you,
you.
person to person. Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah. So I felt like I wanted to start the new year off on a high note.
Start it fresh. No, do you guys
Yeah.
have a date or
No, not at all.
not yet? As soon as I proposed, 'cause I proposed to my girlfriend in, when was it? Crap. I hope she doesn't watch this episode. August. Thank you, August. Like,
Aaron,
as soon as I
he
proposed,
didn't
people were like, "When's
remember.
the date?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, guys, like, I don't know. So just expect all of that. I'm sure you've already been getting a bunch of stuff
Yeah,
like
we've
that,
already been getting all that.
and you're just like,
Uh,
whoa, like, we haven't even started thinking about that yet.
no, my only thing is I want to wait until COVID is over so we can actually have a wedding with everybody there.
Yeah, hopefully.
So I don't know how long we're gonna be waiting, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, see you in a decade, I
Yeah, yeah,
guess.
yeah. Oh
No,
God,
I
don't
mean the
say that.
vaccine's coming out. Not to get
Yeah,
on COVID or whatever, but like
yeah.
I think that things will start to pick up. I'm an optimistic person. I'd like to think. Um, but dude, congratulations, like on the show. Like that's
Hey, you
like you
too.
just
Thank
said,
you.
that's like a huge positive thing that happened in 2020, and I think it's great so far. We're 5 episodes in, and like, what is it? Because this is like, I know you've done some other stuff before. Like I know you did Truth Be Told, right? With
Yeah, I
Octavia
played
Spencer.
like, yeah, I played the younger version of Aaron Paul and that. But I mean, I mostly like looked sad while he did voiceovers. I think I had like one scene the whole series I actually had lines, and I think it got cut. Um,
No.
yeah, I mean, we've seen it on this show too. I mean, so much stuff gets cut just for time or
Yes.
whatever. I remember going to set for Your Honor and watching Michael Stuhlbarg deliver this amazing monologue. And it's the first time we meet his character at that breakfast scene.
Yeah.
And then I watched the pilot and they cut that.
And they
I was
cut
like,
it. Yeah.
oh God. But that was a good lesson because it was like to not take any of it personally. I was like, if they
Yeah.
can cut a Michael Stuhlbarg monologue, it is not about like
And it's like,
performance.
yeah. But the thing, I think one thing that you gotta kind of pat yourself on the back for is like, for me as a goal as an actor, I one day want to be in a project where I know I'm not going to be cut. You
Right.
have accomplished this because they can't cut you out, man. It'd be
It
kind of
would
hard
be
to.
confusing.
Yeah, it really would be. But so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But yeah, I don't think a lot of people, and because you grew up in the South too, or you were
Yeah,
born and raised
so I
in
was born
Arkansas.
Anniston, Alabama,
Oh,
actually, and
Alabama, and
then
then you lived.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then like went to high school and everything in Arkansas.
Okay, and then in college you went to Los Angeles, or
Yeah, I actually went out to LA for like a summer internship before
nice.
going to college, and then I decided to take a gap year, and that quickly turned into like 8 years, and just started like working and auditioning, and I ended up going to like acting school out here instead, just like a 2-year thing.
Yeah, wow. And so like I feel like, and I don't know if this is the same way for you since you grew up in Arkansas,
Yeah,
but I feel like a lot of like Southern people really don't understand the film industry. I feel like more and more it's growing down here in the South. But
yeah, for
when
sure.
when someone sees or tells me that they're gonna like watch me on TV, and right now for me, I'm just like, well, hold on, don't get too excited because like I may be snippety snapped out of the episode.
No,
But
you're in them.
yeah, I'm in it. Like for me, that's the one thing I worry about is like whenever I do
Yeah,
something, I'm just like, man, am I gonna like show up? But I've been really thankful that I got to work with you, and then also like we get to see it. It was really cool in
yeah.
episode 2 and episode 4 where you get to push me around a little bit.
I know our fight scene. Hey, that was a trailer moment, so that's
Dude,
cool.
I know. Isn't that funny? I texted you like I think a week before the trailer came out, and I was like, I think that might be like in the trailer. And then you texted me the trailer, and you were like, you were right.
It was even in like the little like Instagram preview.
Yes, yes, it was. And I know it's like a millisecond, but like you can see the back of my
Hey, for us
head.
two Alabama boys, we're like, look, we're there.
Look, we're there. We did it. Oh, Dad. I love that, man. But I was gonna say I wanted to bring up. Do you remember when we were shooting that little fight scene? Like what all the extras were doing and what they were talking about. Do you remember that?
They were mean.
Dude, they were like sizing us up. They were
They were
like,
like, but if they really got in a fight, who would win? And then like they were like, I mean, one person like pointed at me as like, no way, this guy Sampley's way taller. He's gonna take him for sure. This
so
is bullshit.
yeah, they were like, wait. Okay, so they were pointing at me. They're like, he's taller, so he would take him. Then one guy was like, well, hold on, look at his shoes. They're nicer, meaning he would not be able to beat up another
fight.
person. Yes, I was just like, what is this high school logic? But other than that, they did a great job. I'll leave it at that. And then
Yeah, no, that was really fun. Those days on set with all of like all the people working background. Because when I first got to move out to LA, that's what I did for like 5 years
wow,
as my day job was work as an extra. So it was really fun on Your Honor to be able to like, I don't know, because I always like wanted to talk to the people that were the actors, because like when you're working background and you want to be an actor, like you're so close to the thing that you want to do. So that was really fun for us to all just kind of like hang out like we were just at school or something. And it was really sad when we went back after COVID because you couldn't talk to anybody, dude.
Oh wow.
It was like we were wearing these like like cones of shame, and all the actors had this like collar with like the plastic shield in front of us, and you know they were trying to like discourage anybody talking except for like, you know, literally like in a scene.
Wow.
And there were like barely any extras, only if it was like absolutely necessary. So it was a weird experience to go
How
back.
did you guys like do lunch?
Everyone, it was sad. You like took it back to your trailer like alone. Well, Lily and I lived together though when we went back, so we always weren't like breaking protocol, but kind of. We would go and eat in the same trailer so we could eat together, but we were living together, so
yeah, it's like you kind of like it's.
I know people would like look at us funny, like we drove up together, and I was like, guys, if one of us has it, we both have it.
Yeah. Like we'll be fine.
Yeah,
that's all. By the way, you guys, I just watched the episode 5. I watched the night it came out. And you guys have great chemistry, and like the acting's just great and stuff. I'm like, it's just fun to see you guys like. It's kind of scary at the same time. I don't know.
Everything Adam does in the show, it's like, no, stop.
You're like, Adam, what are you doing? Think with your head, not down here.
I know. My brother texted me like on episode 3 when I'm going around taking pictures of the crime scene and my like bloody shoes. He goes, I'm 12 minutes into the episode. Could you be any more of a Thanks for the support.
And when me and my fiance sat down to watch the first episode, whenever like right after the crime and you go get gas, she was like, "What are you doing?"
Everyone points that out. I had to get gas.
You had to get gas.
It would have been much worse to stop on the side of the road covered in blood.
I want to take it back just a little bit because I'm really interested in like all the extra jobs that you did. Because the first thing I ever did, like I was an extra for this Lifetime movie that came and shot in Huntsville, Alabama at the Rocket Center. And I was just like, I remember my dad saying this to me. He was like, now listen, you may not like it because all you really do is just like sit on set all day. And like whenever you do shoot something, like it goes by very fast or you'll just be standing there and doing the same thing over. And I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I probably won't like it. And dude, like I loved it the whole time. I was just sitting there, but the fact that I was on set, like just like I was just so energized. And did you feel that same way doing extra jobs over and over again or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess eventually maybe like everything maybe it started to feel like a little bit like a job and here showing up at like 5 a.m. or whatever, but so exciting. I remember I couldn't even believe that it was like a job you could just do casually because I did like every kind of actor job out here. I was a terrible waiter. I was a tour guide at Universal Studios.
Oh, nice.
And then did a bunch of extra work, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever because you got to like go and be on set and be around people that wanted to do the same thing as you. And I don't know, it's a great thing. I hope that, because I just imagine that's like kind of, that industry is kind of decimated right now. So I hope it kind of comes back for everybody.
Yeah.
And you learn so much. I mean, I came out here from Arkansas and, you know, I didn't know anything. And it was like, you get to like just learn all the lingo of like, how everybody talks on set and stuff.
That's awesome. Do you remember like working with anyone like specifically that like you couldn't believe that you like saw them across the room or like a director or?
Oh my God. Why am I like, I'm not stupid. I'm just panicking.
And that Adam character is rubbed off on you, Hunter.
Shut up. I don't know, man. I don't have any cool stories for you, really.
Have you ever seen the TV show Extras with Ricky Gervais?
No, it was too close to home. Everyone always talked about it, but it was like way too close to home. And also, I ended working extra work on kind of a sour note because I got fired from Central Casting out in LA. It wasn't my fault, I swear. I used to like cheat all the time and like fake sick to like go on auditions and do whatever. But this one time I got called and told I was like fired because I had showed up late, and they're like, because you claimed you were in a car crash and it doesn't matter, you were late. And I was like, but I didn't, and I wasn't. And they're like, sorry, we don't like take any excuses. And they like nobody would talk to me because there's so many people out here that want to do it. So if they get like one report, and I swear to God, it wasn't me that time. I had plenty of times that would have been justified, but not that time.
Oh my God! Wait, did you actually get in a car crash?
No, that wasn't me. I was there on time.
Oh, okay. I see.
But I did like, I used to work on like the Goldbergs, and I remember like, oh, can I go to the bathroom? And like, then I like was sitting there and like text for a few minutes, and I come out and I was like, yeah, I threw up. And then like, okay, yeah, you probably should just leave. And I was like rushing to an audition.
Wow, that's all. Like the Goldbergs, Jeff Garlin on, is that NBC or ABC or?
Yeah, ABC.
Wow, that's awesome. So wow, like how many jobs do you think you did in this span? You said you did it for 5 years?
Yeah, dude, I have no idea. I mean, we did everything that was like going on at the time that like needed people that are like 18 to look younger, like, you know, Glee. And yeah, I did like this Nickelodeon show. That's how I got my SAG card, dude. Was working extra work on this Nickelodeon show, the Thundermans. And like you were like, you're an extra, like you hope and beg to get like one of the vouchers, and if you get 3 vouchers of like union work, then you are eligible to join.
Mhm.
Instead of, and like, you know, otherwise, you know, you probably did it by actually booking a role, but you know, I kind of cheated my way into the system.
No, man, that's all fair, dude. That's great. What do you remember? What your other 2 jobs were? So you said the Thundermans, and do you remember the other 2?
Those were, I got all 3 vouchers from that one Nickelodeon show.
Dude, so you owe everything to the Thundermans.
I owe everything to the Thundermans.
You need to put that in your Instagram bio.
Yeah.
I'm Hunter. I owe everything to the Thundermans. That's great, man. So what was like kind of so you get fired from doing extra work, right? Well, what's next for Hunter?
I think that's when I got the job as a tour guide, which is kind of a cruel system too. It's like, it's all actors, and you have to like audition to get the job.
Oh,
I didn't get it the first time I did it, and I had to come back, and then they make you do several rounds, and then at the end of the day, you get a minimum wage job. And you're like, they make you like so hungry for it, and then at the end of the day, you're like, wait a second, I just got duped.
It's like, oh wait, $7.25. Dang it! What the heck? That's crazy. That's like making you audition for just like any other job. That's like,
yeah.
insane. So how long did you work for the tour guide?
I worked there for like 2 years, and then that was kind of around the time I started like getting some work and was able to transition out of that. And I had that and the waiting tables job at the same time.
Wow, yeah, worked into it. Yeah, that's what an actor has to do. Work several jobs just so you can support your like dream career.
Yeah.
What was there ever any moment where you were like you doubted? I mean, of course, like everyone doubts their stuff. Was there ever like a serious moment where you're like, man, like maybe I should just like move back home, like figure something else out?
You know, I can't remember like one specific thing that was like, but I guess like, you know, I would like, I was telling people like, I was sad I couldn't go back to Arkansas for this Thanksgiving. 1, mainly to see my family and stuff, but 2, like every year people like, you know, just around town when you're home, they'll be like, hey, and they kind of tilt their head like, you still out there? You still out in California? You still trying that? Oh, how long are you gonna do that, bud?
Yes.
I was like, the 1 year I have like this really cool project to talk about.
You're like, I'm really on TV, and they're like, oh, sure, okay.
Oh, what's his name? Brian. Oh,
Brian, never heard of him. And you're like, he was on Malcolm's Little Breaking Bad. Never heard of it, dude. You'd be surprised about how many people like haven't heard of like these huge like names. And
really, that's like, it's funny because Brian's like the one person to me who has like broken through all that, because like everyone that I know like loved Breaking Bad. Even my brother and I watched that show like 2 times through together. It's like and I don't know, especially I think like guys that I know like loved Breaking Bad.
You'd be surprised, man. Like my fiance's like roommates, like whenever she told them, they're like, who? And she was like, oh, like Breaking Bad. And usually that's when they're like, oh yeah, but they're like,
Yeah.
what? And she was like, Malcolm in the Middle? No. Seinfeld? No. It's just like, what do you guys watch on television? Like,
Yeah.
like a huge figure. Like I remember the first time I had worked with like a really big prominent name. I was like ready to come back like to my grocery job, be like, yeah,
Yeah.
like kind of throw it out. And it was I worked with Jason Segel on this film that's actually coming out later this month, so check it out.
Plug.
And then I also got to meet Casey Affleck while on set, and so I kind of like threw around
Cool.
both those names, and everyone at work was like, "Yeah, I don't know who that is." And I'm just like, "Dang it! Like, I really have to meet Michael Jordan or like meet Brad Pitt to like get
Yeah.
like high fives or slaps on the back here in Alabama." Not that it's about that at all, but you kind of want this recognition after people are like, "Oh, okay." Sure.
Yeah.
I love that you said the head tilt. They absolutely do that. But so what was like the first gig you got where you were like, this is happening and like I'm on the right track?
First I was able to like take a few weeks off work. I did this like independent movie called Soundwave, which was really fun, and that was cool just because the director like really took a chance on me. And then like the next year I got a small part on like Westworld, and then slowly just started getting like little co-star guest star stuff. I don't know, it just kind of slowly kept like little by little kind of kept happening in those mainly in like the last 2-3 years really, and I've been out here since the summer of 2012.
Whew. That's
Yeah.
9 years now, man, right? Yeah, man.
Yeah. My Adam face.
Yeah, you're Adam face.
Wait.
So what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm just mumbling now. So.
Oh, I was gonna say when and how did Your Honor fall into your lap? Is it something?
I wish it fell into my lap, dude. We did this like roundtable thing for Showtime a few weeks ago, right before the premiere, and Brian and Carmen and Isaiah and Michael and Hope are all telling these like glamorous stories about like when their agents like gave them the call and like, I've got this script I need you to read, and like they're dying to have you. And, and then they're like, and now Hunter, how did what happened? Like, what drew you to the project? And I'm like, well, I'm really flattered you asked in a way that made it sound like I had a choice. But dude, I just got like a self-tape request and from my agent, and I was like, oh my God, Bryan Cranston, I don't have a chance in hell, but yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I, shot a self-tape in my apartment here in Burbank. And then that was in like, I guess, February 2019. And then nothing happened. Then I got like pinned for it. I was like, oh, then they released me, totally cut me. Then like a month later, they came back and said, actually, we want to bring you into the testing round. And so then we did like a test out here in LA, and like Peter Moffat and like Robert Michelle King and Liz Glotzer were there. And then I think they did another cut, and then they flew a couple of us to New York because Brian was doing network on Broadway at the time. And that was the last round, was auditioning with him in front of like the studio and network heads.
Whew.
Yeah, it was. And on that trip, I was like, I'm gonna get this part. I'm gonna try to just look at it as a chance to act with Brian, and like, I'm such a huge fan. Like, I'm just gonna try my best to enjoy it. I mean, I'm still super nervous, but then I bought a ticket to go see his show the day before. I like made sure I flew in early enough to make it, and then went to go see him. And it was kind of a mistake. Like, I wouldn't recommend doing it because I like already look up to him, and I'm like literally looking up at him. Like, he's giving this amazing performance, and then I had to go in and act with him the next day. But dude, it was so much fun. It worked out.
That's awesome, man. Like, so how long did it take you to find out that you booked it and that like you were the one?
The like longest week of my life. They kept pushing it, like how long it would, when they would let you know, when they let you know. And yeah, I think it was exactly a week. My manager called me at like 9 p.m. on the following Monday or something.
When you saw the call coming in, did you know, or did you have a good
I
feeling?
I missed it. I looked at my
Oh
phone. I
my
had like
gosh.
5 missed calls. I was like, oh, holy! And then I called her back, and she was like, where the have you been?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I actually have a good buddy that missed out on a Tom Hardy role. He would get to work with Tom Hardy, and like he just
Wait, what? Wait, because he missed the phone call?
no, like like almost like 5 hours straight, and like I think his agent missed the calls, and then he like said, and then he called him. He picked up, was like, "Do I still have it?" He's like, "I don't know. Let me figure it out. I missed a whole bunch of calls. I had my phone off." And then yeah, he didn't. They ended up going with the second guy in line. So,
dude, I hope he fired that agent.
I don't. But dude, yeah, I would freak out. If I saw I missed a call from my agent, I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Yeah.
Just like my whole life flashing through my eyes. And so when they told you that you booked it, like what was your reaction, man?
I mean, like full on fist in the air, jumping up, excitement. Like, I mean, it was just everything I ever wanted, dude.
Oh my god! And like, did you know at the time, like
I've always loved TV, and Bryan is like one of my favorite actors of all time. Yeah, I knew it was 10 episodes. Bryan was the only other cast member at that time.
Wow.
It was like a 4-month casting process to get to that point. So it felt like, I don't run marathons, but the end of a marathon.
I'd imagine this is what it felt like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. And
yeah, dude. And then they just kept like adding cast members, like, and that cast is just insane.
Yes,
like
I
the
know.
people
like,
that we got to meet and work with.
When you saw my name popped up, I'm sure that's when you're like, okay,
like,
this is real.
Oh
this is really happening.
Sampley.
From Alabama too. Oh my
Yes.
god. And I get to act with him, and then that's when you're like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I almost backed out. I was too nervous.
Down. He's a professional just like you.
Yeah. Thank God you're so down to earth.
So what was the first scene that you and Bryan shot together?
The scene where I'm taking out the garbage in episode 1 with like I'm in my boxers and the bloody nail brush, and I've just like flooded the laundry room, and he shows up and he's like, what's going on? And I just go and run.
That's another moment with my fiance when you were like shoving the stuff in the laundry. She was like, "What are you doing? That's not how you do laundry."
I know, that was like all. That was so funny. He was like, "You're 17, you don't know how to do laundry." And so like we had so much fun, like how much detergent, like I poured like, way too much in. I'm just like hitting the buttons, like
just throwing dishes in there. You're just like, I don't know, just have a broom, just swashing it around. That's great. Like, was there ever a moment, like the first couple days while on set, where you were like, am I still the one? Like, kind of like imposter syndrome, where you're like, am I still the one that they want? Or like, what's going, like, was that ever run through your head where you just like, no, this is my job, and like, this is happening?
My agent pointed out to me, I like kind of like offhandedly, and I don't think they meant it this way, but it terrified me that there's like a clause in the contract when you like sign up for something like this, that like after the pilot they can fire you and replace you. They like withhold that right. But then I found out that we were block shooting, so we were shooting 3 at a time. And then I felt pretty safe.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I got this in the bag, because that happens to actors all the time. Are you familiar with what's his name?
The story.
Have you ever heard that story from the Back to the Future? Like they shot like almost the entire film of Back to the Future with a different actor than oh my gosh, I'm forgetting.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox. I was thinking Martin. No. Yeah, Michael J. Fox. Have you heard that?
Who was I can't remember who the original actor was. But I remember they replaced him like way into it.
Yeah, and like and they actually have some of the cool like test footage with the other actor on YouTube. And like it sucks for me to say this, but I was like, yeah, like Michael J. Fox was the guy. Like I just feel so bad for. I mean, he went on and he continued to work.
Yeah,
So I mean, he's fine, but he's doing better than me. But
It's a shame.
like he shot the entire film, and then I think Spielberg was like, it's just not working. We need someone else. It's like, yeah, when hearing that story, that always like makes me scared. But like, and then I'm just like, okay, that's like, that's so rare to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I was nervous. I mean, I prepared for this like nothing else I ever have. I had the first, I think, 5 scripts before I got to New Orleans, and I knew them like backwards and forwards. I could do any scene from any episode at any time. I was like ready to go. I prepared it like a play. I was like, let's go. I am not gonna mess this up.
Even the other people's lines.
Yeah.
If you need me to play someone else at any time, like I'm ready.
I can jump in. I can do it.
I was gonna ask. My brain just stopped working. Sorry.
Oh no.
What has been your favorite episode, like that you've worked on, that you can kind of like up until 5, I guess?
I mean, the first one is crazy, but I think episode 4 was my favorite.
That makes me feel good because we got to work together. But
yeah,
I know it's not because of that. It's because of all those people at the dinner table, right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that dinner scene was just like, that was one of those moments where I was like looking around, like, how did I scam my way into getting onto this set?
Yeah.
I mean, Margot Martindale and Brian and Carmen and Isaiah and Amy, like, it was just crazy. I'm just like this wide-eyed kid looking around.
Any one of those people, you kind of be freaking out, but like,
yeah,
the more you look, like that's a round table right there that you could do for like Hollywood Reporter or something.
I know, it was insane. And then like, I think that might be like one of my favorite scenes in the whole show is when I storm off, and then Brian and I have that fight in the yard afterwards.
Yes.
So that episode just like had a lot of stuff that I loved in it.
Yeah, and when Django is like barking at that the claw, the bloodied claw.
I know.
Under the like little stand, and then like, you know, he's just like, oh, what you got here? And then like everyone's just like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, what is that bloody rag you're holding?
I think honestly, that's actually been my favorite episode to watch too.
Really? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say the 5th one was actually their favorite, and I think is because Brian, when he had to go into like the whole like blackmailing mode and running through the red dress day in New Orleans, and it was really exciting. It just keeps getting more intense too. So
it really does, because like after episode 4, or I'm sorry. Yeah, wait. I'm trying to remember. All of them kind of mesh together when you watch them so closely.
I know.
Whenever, I don't want to say the character's name, but whenever a certain character dies in prison,
right,
I was like, man, how are they like gonna keep how are they gonna keep going? And then it's just been so organic, and it's just like it's just so tension filled.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite performance, like watching it so far? Because I have mine, and I'm sure a lot of people would say he crushed it. But what's yours?
Favorite performance of
that you've been
on the show
besides yourself, and besides me?
What if I said to myself? He'd be like,
dude,
okay,
yeah,
we're done here.
I was like, this one's not going up.
Obviously, there's a cop out, but Brian's amazing. But seriously, like, he's so good. And then, like, even the way he like finds some moments to be funny in this show that is insanely dark, I'm just like in awe of him. And then I also just love Michael Stuhlbarg.
Oh my gosh.
He's so good, and so is Hope. David plays his wife too. She is like pulling the strings on that mafia family.
I would not want to be like anywhere close near that family, like on any
No.
day.
No. Dude, I don't know. I think everyone is killing it, and I know that sounds like a BS answer because I'm on the show, but I think everyone's like so good. There's not like one person I'm like,
You're like, they could have cast someone else.
Yeah.
My favorite so far has been Lamar Johnson, who plays Kofi Jones. Dude, like, I'm blown away by him.
He's so good. I got to like watch him on set and was blown away. Like, I got to be there on the day that he's in the courtroom for his arraignment, and literally just like, he didn't even have a line, and it just his like or yeah, I guess he did when he said guilty, but the moment when they like take his his jumpsuit off, which is just horrible to watch because he makes it so real. And the same with like the car scene when they torture him is just like
Oh, man,
he just gave everything in that performance, and he's so good. It's like it's heartbreaking. It's hard to watch because he makes it so truthful.
He really, he has like this certain presence. One of my favorite scenes is like whenever he's just been arrested and he's just like eating that sandwich and just like talking to the guy. It's just like, I don't know, something just really captivated me by just like his goodness.
I know they made him and Rocco way too likable.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, like Rocco. Yeah, he seemed like, I'm gonna be honest. Between hanging out with, I mean, Wesley's got some options now. You know, if Wesley's gonna hang out with Rocco or Adam,
we better watch out. 17-year-olds in this show do not fare well.
Yeah, they really don't. So I wanted to share a story with you.
Yeah.
So episode 2 was my first episode, and I don't know if you remember, but I came in, I just finished shooting a movie, and I had to come in like immediately, like the next day for my fitting. And so
didn't you drive like 11 hours?
Not that many. It felt like it. I drove, I think, 7.
Okay.
6 hours and 45. And then I got to my hotel. I slept like an hour, woke up and went to the fitting. So I was like gone. I was like not there. But I came to set, and like me and your parents like just like talked like the entire time.
Oh yeah, my parents were on set that day.
Dude, and they were like, it just like broke my heart, like in a good way, how like happy they were. They were just they were obviously like so proud. They were like telling me all the stuff you've done and stuff. So I know more about you than you think so.
Oh yeah, if you get my mom started talking, she'll tell you.
Yeah. It was just cracking me up, like how much she was just so proud. And like my mom would be the same way. Any mom would be the same way. And then so I think it was, I can't remember if it was that same date. Like literally, I don't remember just because how like in the state I was. Yeah, I can't remember if it was that day we wrapped, or was it the next day? Because either I'd only been there for 1 day or 2 days, but it was Edward Berger's like wrap day. Like I don't think he hasn't come back.
Oh yeah, it was because it was right before Thanksgiving in 2019.
Yes, yeah, and like everyone was like, you know, like kind of tearing up and like hugging him and stuff, and I was just there like it's like one of those moments when you're just like,
you're like, I just met this man.
You're surrounded by this like family, and then you're just like, hey guys, like, you know, I'm the neighbor, like, how are you guys? But I had this
come in and like seem so natural is great too, because that's like the hardest part. And people don't like realize, like, coming onto a show that's been going for a couple months and then having to jump in, it's scary, right?
It is very scary because like one of the scary parts about it is like will they will they like me? Like, am I gonna have someone to talk to the rest of the day? But you and Sophia were like so cool. We sat in our chairs and like talked the entire day, like whenever we could. But Edward had this really cool moment where I think he saw me just being like awkward, like not sure what to do, because I wasn't wrapped yet. Like they wouldn't send me home yet, and then he just like came up to me and shook my hand when you could shake hands, and he was like, it's nice meeting you, and I was like, same to you, and he just walked out, and everyone's like, and I was like, that was really nice that he acknowledged the awkwardness. Yeah, because I don't think many people would do that or even realize that's like a thing for some actors.
Yeah. No, Ed's the best. I loved Ed because he's this German guy, and every time he said action, was action please. And the way that he like always was calling for more blood, especially in like those car crash scenes. Like I had a friend recently that asked me, I was like, how did y'all do that thing where he spit the blood on you? And
I was gonna ask you that.
Oh, really? I was like, well, they put a bunch of blood in Ben's mouth, and he spit it on me.
Wow.
And Ed was always like, more blood, more sweat.
Because, like, when I saw it, I was like, that's like, because it's like all the way up, like at his mouth. And I'm just like, did they make him, like, just hold that in there and then just,
Stacy, that had makeup, would sit there with the fake blood bottle and wait till like they said rolling and then like fill his mouth.
Oh God! And I know that can't be fun because
No.
in that movie I mentioned, my character throws up several times, and they put like oatmeal, mustard, like lemon water, and I had to hold it in my mouth and like mix it in my own mouth and like spit it up. And they're originally gonna put it through a tube, like through my shirt, but the thing was, I then the camera then like followed me to like
So it had to be in your mouth.
it had to be in my mouth, and like that was 10 takes where I was like actually gonna throw up. So I felt for him in that moment. I was like, that's never fun.
Yikes, that's worse. The blood actually is like kind of like sweet.
He's just drinking it. Never mind. I take all that back. Then I don't feel for him at all. And I'm glad you hit him, Adam.
Yeah. I'm glad we got rid of him.
Like I had, because I went to the table read so I had already read the first episode. But man, when you hit him, like it still like made me jump. Like
I know, same.
Like, yeah, and you were there.
Yeah.
Like Edward got what he wanted. He got blood and violence.
That moment is shocking because when from my experience doing it, they just put like a speed bump basically in the road, and the camera was inside the car, and then it like did this move to follow him through the windows, but he wasn't there obviously. So I was just going and like repeatedly like pretending to crash every time I hit the speed bump.
I love that.
Yeah, and then on a separate day, they had done the stunt double, the guy like flying off the motorcycle and rolling.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy. Like stunt guys, like I always have a respect for, because I'm just like something's like wrong in their brains to want them to do this stuff.
Totally,
it's like amazing to watch at the same time, and they're like always the coolest, like guys to do. Like you feel more macho when you're around them. You're like, yeah.
I know. Like when Andy, the stunt coordinator, would come talk to us about our fight in episode 4, even.
Dude, I am so happy that they changed that, because originally you were supposed to like deck me and like continually like punch me, but he came up and was like, I don't think best friends would like hit each other in the face, and I was like, oh, thank God, because like I knew that there was a chance that I might actually take one.
Yeah,
that just happens. Accidents happen. Not that you would purposefully do that, not out of jealousy. Who knows?
You never know,
Yeah, you never know, but I'm so glad it ended up just being just like shoving back and forth.
Yeah.
I had a question about the first episode, and it just left me. But like have a lot of people like been coming up to you and been like, oh, what a show! Like what a great performance. Have you been getting a lot of great feedback? Is anyone in your family or friend group like critical and like, well, I don't like this? Do you have anyone like that?
No, not. I have my fiance. He's allowed to be critical. We're allowed to pick it apart at home.
Yeah.
No, everyone's been great. Dude, honestly, when the first a couple of the first reviews came out, that was critics can be like really mean.
Dude, they can.
And some people just did not like the show, and I was like, oh, well, this sucks. Like this thing that like we worked on, like I like felt so proud of, like now these people are just like tearing it apart. And then it came out, and the reaction has been amazing from like the audiences and people watching it. And I mean, I've had people that like I don't talk to normally like reaching out, and just if they didn't like it, they wouldn't say anything. And people like reaching out and going out of their way. And I watched it, and I've seen it like you have been. I'm super proud of what we've done. I think it's a great show. So I haven't like been out and about because it's LA and we're kind of on shutdown here. And even when I go to the store, everyone's faces are covered. But I've gotten some people reaching out on Instagram, which has been fun. Mostly nice, a few creepy ones.
Wait. You gotta give me a little more than just creepy. Like what specific? Like.
Well, I go nude in the first episode, and it's off that. That's that. I feel like that's all I can say without it being gross.
My brother-in-law, my youngest sister's husband, texted me and was like, "Are you the cheek doubler, like the stuff cheek double?" And I was like, nope.
Dude, I get DMs like that, like, hey man, was that your butt or did you have a stunt double? And I was like, shut up, bros, get out of here. That I get that and like stuff about that scene and like, hey, like stuff like that all the time. I'm like, oh, I don't respond to that stuff. I try to respond to like a few people that like are clearly over 18 and seem like real people and normal.
Yes, yeah. Just stay safe on the internet, Hunter. It's
Yeah.
scary out there. Um, dude, like, do you have anything else in the works, man, that you wanna talk about, or is it just? Or, I mean, I know, of course.
Dude, I mean, because we just wrapped up the last episode before Thanksgiving in 2020.
Oh, that's
because
right.
because we had to stop for so long. So, and now everything's kind of shut down here. But hopefully, stuff's gonna start picking back up. But I started doing some more like self tapes as the show was ending, and we knew we had a like final date finally. The last time I was in New Orleans, and so I haven't like got anything exciting to tell you about yet, but I've got to like just read for some stuff that like I never even would have gotten in the door for before, you know?
Dude, that's
So
awesome.
that's just really fun.
Congratulations, man. Wow, that's amazing, man. Are you someone that wants to watch the monitor after you've done a take, or are you just like, no thank
I don't freak out about watching myself. I don't go do it like request to see it or anything,
Mhm.
but unless it's something I'm trying to figure out, like just what the size is of, or if it's like a specific motion or something like that. But I don't know if you feel this way, but we have to do so many self tapes on our own nowadays and watch them back that I'm totally numb to watching myself. So I don't really
Exactly.
understand this whole thing where people, I think it's like a fake modesty thing when people are
Yes, yes, it
when
is.
people are like, oh, I can't stand to watch myself act. It's like, how the hell do you do this job and not be able to watch yourself?
Exactly. I think it hurts you if you kind of have that mentality. I think it's definitely a phrase people like to toss around because it makes them sound cool. It doesn't. It actually doesn't. But
and you learn so much from it too.
You really do.
Like, yeah. So, and then it's fun to watch these episodes. I get to just kind of sit there and take them in, which has been really fun. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like it's enjoyable to watch the show. I'm not like totally taken out of it. There's sometimes I'll get nervous about like a scene, like in episode 3, the dancing scene.
Oh, dude, yeah, I wanted to bring that up, dude.
That was the most nervous I was at any point in shooting, like more than going nude or anything. Because originally I was supposed to be in the parent-teacher conference, and Bryan came up to me and said it didn't make sense. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like they're just gonna cut me out of it. And then we got the new pages, and it was like, Adam's not there, but then cut to dark room. Adam walks in, he's very quiet, music starts, all of a sudden he's dancing, and I was like, what is this? But like Ed and Peter and I had like a private rehearsal before we shot, and I thought it turned out really cool. I was really happy with it, but I was so nervous to do it.
I understand that. Like the lighting and stuff is great. The music choice is great. And I just love how you just like he's just like.
That was the song that we played on the day. It was the song in the script. It like made it the whole way, which was cool.
That's incredible, man. Have you gotten any fun comments about your dance skills on the internet?
Yeah. I did. Okay, that's someone. One of my friends called me. He was like, "What did you think of the dancing?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of crazy." He's like, "Yeah, I was watching it. I thought it was kind of cool, but also part of me was like, what the f- is this?" Like, oh, thank you. But no, people have been reaching out about it, saying some fun things, and Peter Moffat said it's one of his favorite scenes, and that was all I needed to hear.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. I love it. I love that part so much. Like it was kind of like, oh yeah, this happens, but it's just like it's you're getting all that angst out.
I had all the angst and emotion out.
The scene would have been a little bit better if Wesley was there. That way we could have done some
just
robot. Yeah, just like.
Bryan and I used to joke there should be a scene where Bryan also dances out his emotions, so we figure out family trait.
Dude, that would be amazing. Like, all right, case closed, goes back, takes off his robes, and just starts
Yeah, in his chambers.
Yeah, in his chambers, just rocking out, like security cam footage, like the guard just like watching, like just cuts to it.
Better with the robe, actually. You get a lot of flowing action there.
Yes, that would be amazing. And you guys finished episode 10, so it's not too late, or is it too late to go back and add that?
Yeah, let me call.
You'll call Peter.
Yeah.
Listen, remember that guy who played Wesley for 2 episodes? He had a great idea.
He's got some notes.
Yeah, he's got some notes he'd like just to throw at you. And dude, Peter's such a cool guy. Oh,
the best.
I remember my first day on set, we were eating lunch, and I was standing right next to him, and I was like, I auditioned in frfront of him my second time.
I was gonna ask, so like you knew who he was too, right?
Yeah, I knew who he was, and I'll say, or let me. So I taped. No, I didn't tape for this. I went in live in New Orleans, and then I got.
You drove from Huntsville to New Orleans for the audition, right?
Most of the time, I say I'm gonna self-tape that, but when I kind of like you, I saw Bryan Cranston on the sides, and I was like, no, I have to get this. This is like a huge opportunity. So I drove. I thought it went pretty well. I actually did I auditioned. It was the first scene in episode 2 that me and you have. It was just that.
You hit me with that book.
Yes, I love that too. And then I got a call back, and it was him, and then I think some producers there as well. I was kind of nervous that Bryan Cranston was going to be there, because like some people like downstairs were like, is he going to be here? Is he going to be here?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to be here. And then someone was like, he's not going to be here. And I was like, you know what? Just don't even worry about that. Just go in, say lines, get out. But I go in there, I do it once, and you sometimes you do it more than once. But Peter, they all like looked at Peter, and Peter goes, very funny. And that was it. And that was it. And then they're like, all right, we're done. We leave. And like, I think anyone else would have been like, dang, I messed up. But I was like, I think I booked that. I think I just booked that.
You meant that.
Yeah,
Peter doesn't have a good poker face.
Yes.
At least in the audition process that I learned, because after my final audition, Bryan and I went out and talked for a second, and he was like, yeah, we're going to be on New Orleans. It's going to be a long shoot. It's going to be a hard shoot. And I was like, for me? And then they finish it, like, you have any more questions? I was like, well, I can't ask the one question that I want to ask here, so I'm going to say no and just leave.
But and sometimes in auditions, and I'm sure you can agree to this, is like sometimes they'll be like, oh, that was great. Like they'll be like all happy, and you're like, man, I feel really good. Like I think and then you never hear anything.
Never hear.
But with that, he was just like so blunt. I was like, man, I feel like I think I got this. And then flash forward on the first day of set, we were standing next to each other in the lunch line. He just starts like picking up a conversation with me. I was like, man, I love working with people like this that are so much higher up on the totem pole than I am. And then he just treats me like we're at the same level. I love working with people like that.
Dude, I think it was him and having Bryan, as our number one. And Bryan is so down to earth and will talk to anybody. And it's so cool that, like, if he's not acting like a diva, then nobody can.
Yeah.
And so it just set the tone for, like, I don't know, a really fun shoot. And the crew was amazing down in New Orleans. I think because they all worked together a lot. Mm-hmm. And they were already friends. I had so much fun on that set.
Yeah, I mean, I was only there briefly, but like I just felt a sense of camaraderie, and just everyone seemed like that tight family, and just enjoyed working with each other. And I would say the only diva on set was you most of the times. I think we can all.
Well, sometimes you just gotta yell at somebody.
Yeah, I remember when I sat down in my chair, you went and talked to a producer, and then the producer came over there, picked up the chair while I was
moved it,
fell down,
and
then you kind of just crossed your arms and stared at me, and then walked away. I was like, what did I do?
You were too close.
I flew too close to the sun. But like everyone was just like so cool on set, including yourself. Sophia was awesome. I'm trying to think of who else I got to meet while on set. And then I got to meet Bryan at the table read, which was like, dude, my heart, like, I'm sure like the first time you saw it, like especially when you watch that his performance in Network, like I'm sure his heart was just like, oh my gosh, like he's real, like he's a real
he's
person.
Right there, yeah.
Like, and I just love working on sets like that. I feel like they're becoming more common these days. Like
I hope so. I had a lot of people, like a lot of the more experienced actors, like some of the people from that like dinner table scene, for instance, like And even crew members were like, this is like the best set. Like, I love, this has been so much fun. Like, everyone's so great. And then I started to realize, I was like, wait, this is kind of like, basically my first thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, so am I not going to have this same great experience? I was like, wow, sets are great. I was like, oh, geez. I hope I'm lucky next time.
Well, if you get to work with me again, I'll let you know, man. Maybe
okay.
Maybe I'll be a little higher up and I can get that chair taken away.
Yes. Move my chair, Sampley.
Dude, it's almost been an hour. I don't want to take up any more of your time. You've been very gracious.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to throw out there, like I don't know, like to the people watching the show or that are gonna listen to this?
I'm sorry that Adam can be frustrating sometimes. He's just a teen. He's not a criminal mastermind. Leave him alone.
Exactly. No. Like, I agree, because sometimes I'm watching him like, man, he's just making just a dumb choice. And then at the same time, I'm like, I've done a lot of stupid stuff in my life, including right now. You know what I mean? So, like, absolutely.
Including right now. No, dude, thanks for having me. I'm just feel really grateful to be part of the show. So I love to talk about any chance I get. So this has been great.
That's awesome, man. I'm trying to think, when does the next episode come out? No, not tonight.
So not tonight, because we already got it. So now we got to wait a full week.
Yeah, so next Sunday, episode 6. Adam's getting himself into trouble. Dude, the preview for episode 6. Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, I haven't seen the preview.
You haven't seen the preview? Like, it just has this really cool shot where like Michael Stuhlbarg is like standing a ways away, I think, from Cranston, and it's just like, what's gonna happen?
Okay. Yeah, I think people are really gonna like the next one. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. And let's see, after that, only 4 more episodes, man. It's going by too fast. It seems like forever ago when like it was just like, when is this show even gonna come out? And
I know, and now we're halfway through it already.
Yeah.
I hope people keep watching and like the whole thing.
Yeah, and congratulations, because I saw that show, or the first episode was like the most watched Showtime show ever.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think it's like the most watched limited series for them of all time, which is crazy.
Yeah, because they've had a bunch, and they've been going on for a long time, so that's huge. And I don't want to say it's because of my name is attached to the project. I don't want to say
that's modesty. That's you're super gracious, but I think we all know it is. So thank you
for admitting it. Bryan wouldn't. He wouldn't. We talked about it. But no. But dude, again, thank you so much. I'm gonna have this up on Spotify and all that stuff. So if you like listening to yourself, go free.
I told you, I love watching myself. I love listening to myself.
So you just stand there after this, like American Psycho, just like peeling the stuff off.
Through the blinds, waiting.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you, Sampley. Thank you.
See you, bro.
Bye.
All right. That was the episode with Hunter Doohan. Sorry, I dropped something. He plays Adam in the TV show Your Honor right now on Showtime. I also happen to be in it, and I'm so gracious that he was able to come and be on this episode. I felt like it was a great interview. This episode is going to be available on Spotify. I did it through Zoom this time, so I'm going to upload the to where you can see me on YouTube, and then just the audio on Spotify, or, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Once Upon a Time in Huntsville. I'll catch you guys later.